What's up, guys? This is Nick Barahona, part of the. Sorry. What's up, guys? This is Nick, part of the. Wait, sorry. I'm thinking in my head right now. How do I want to come out with this? What's up, guys? This is Nick. This is the Friend Zone podcast. Just three guys talking. Nothing more than that.
I'm Josh Love.
I'm sorry.
This dude.
He doesn't know his name, but that's Kyle right there.
No, some snot came out when I did that.
That's disgusting.
Honestly,
We're
we should
keeping
keep
that. Yeah. So this is the Friend Zone podcast. We're just gonna be talking about whatever the hell. We're guys in our 20s, and we just love talking and want to talk about some funny things that we find interesting, exciting, sports, money, jobs, women, family, friends, all the above. So let's dive straight into it. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so starting off, since it's called the Friend Zone, our first thing that we're going to talk about is what it really means to be friend zone and can you escape it. So,
Okay.
Me personally, I think if you're friend zone, basically you shot your shot, you made it clear you're interested in someone and it just didn't work out. And I most definitely think you can escape it. Speaking from prior experience, you can get out of the friend zone. As long as you're, I think, persistent, you make it clear that you're interested. And I think like showing a girl that you're willing to go the extra mile, eventually, like I won't say they'll give in, but they'll make like it'll be known to them that you really
Just
do
wait
care
for a
about.
weak point.
Wait for a weak point. No, it'll be clear to them.
Kind of though. I mean, not a weak point, but like you just wait for an opportunity.
Yeah, you make it clear that you're really interested and you want it to be more than just friends, and you're not like the other guys that either just want them for their body or
True.
that want to be with them just for a little bit and dip. I think you can get out of it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I mean, you can get out of it, yeah, but with your experience, did you want to get out of it because you wanted her for her body or because you wanted to date her?
I wanted to date them. I mean,
I think the body goes like hand in hand though. Like if a girl has a nice body, it doesn't hurt.
I mean, I agree. It doesn't.
Personally, if I'm being honest, bro, like come on, we gotta be honest.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't hurt, but
doesn't hurt.
for me personally, it wasn't the looks. Like,
Yeah,
I,
no, I'm not
like
saying
I
it
obviously thought they looked good, or I wouldn't have dated them. Not to say looks are everything, but it was just because like I enjoyed being around them so much that I thought to myself, I want to be with them and be more than just a friend.
Yeah.
So I think the looks definitely part, or help, but it's definitely the personality for me, not to be like that guy.
No, honestly, I think down the line, especially, I've been in a long-term relationship, and so it really comes down to, I don't know, like personality and something deeper than just the surface. But what about you, Kyle? Do you think you can? I think you can escape. I think if you're respectful, but it's all about like your intentions. Like
100%, yeah.
you got to be respectful to the girl.
I'm going to say yes. There was a time I got out of it, but it wasn't for like a relationship.
This guy.
Oh, it was just a hit. Be honest, bro. We're honest here. Dude, I respect that honesty.
I'm an asshole for that.
I would never admit that. But
I would never say that out loud.
All right.
This guy.
Sorry for abiding by our rules.
Get a load of this guy.
this guy's
I was like 19, whatever.
Okay. Well, the next thing is, so
See how
talking
they
about.
treat me?
I mean, they're gonna see it for multiple episodes. Sorry, bro.
We're just being real, man. I'm saying, like, good on you for being real. Like, that's good.
Keep being honest.
No, but in all seriousness, though, how did it feel afterwards?
Yeah.
Well, if I'm like whatever.
Like what? No, like what? Like did the friendship like end? Like how did things go with that one?
Lasted a little bit, but in the end, because I didn't want to pursue any further, kind of had to.
Oh, so she told you you wanted just to hook up, and she didn't. So you waited around, and then waited for your opportunity, and then you made it seem probably like you wanted more than just hooking up. But once you hooked up, then it was done. Nice. I feel like
Essentially. Yeah.
have I
Have you gotten out of the friend zone?
friend zone? Have I ever been friend zoned?
This dude think he's got so much aura. He just
No.
He's like I don't get friend zone. They just want me.
No,
Shut
not
up.
You're not mysterious.
You're
No.
not misunderstood.
No, I think
I'm so
I want to say there was one time, I don't know, like way back, like I think in middle school, I want to say I got friend zoned by this girl.
Name.
Went as far back as middle school.
I
This
was in a
dude.
relationship for 6 years.
This dude. Fair enough. All right.
I think in middle school, I got friend zoned by this girl that I was friends with and I would have class with, and it just kind of made it awkward. But she ended up liking me though the year after. So, but I just like totally. I think that time, like the fact that like when she said no, I was kind of like embarrassed. And I'm like, damn, I feel embarrassed now. And I think the fact that obviously like I grew a little bit and like I changed, like I guess just matured a little bit, and I just stopped talking to her. She kind of didn't, maybe was like, oh, what happened to all the attention that he was giving me because he liked me, and then it just switched. But I mean, I wasn't doing anything or hooking up at that point. Yeah, no.
In middle school, I'd hope not.
I was, yeah, no, I was too scared. Actually, this is a funny thing. There was this one girl I had a huge crush on that I took to like a 7th grade. You know her.
Oh God.
I do.
She's without saying her name, she dated Jorge, I think. Kind of an alternative girl now. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
God. You
So
did.
we went on a. Remember that really tall guy Rico or something?
Was he black?
Yeah, yeah. Remember, really tall.
Deep voice?
Yeah, deep voice. So for some reason, he was like just tagging along, but I took her to the formal, or what is, the 7th grade mixer or something that was at like the extended rec center that we had.
Yeah. You have a video of me there.
No, that was the like 5th grade mixer or something. I'm talking about like in 7th grade, like people like we like dressed up and there was like a dance and whatnot. Anyways, I took her and she had a crush on me and I knew that, but I was too scared because I never had my first kiss and this was like in 7th grade. And she tried kissing me and I just got scared and didn't want to, even though I really wanted to. I just didn't want my first kiss to be bad because I know she had kissed someone already. And then she thought that I just didn't like her and she cried. And then I fumbled that bag.
What an animal.
I fumbled that. I did have a crush on her back then.
It's not too late.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. All right,
It's
what's the
okay.
next?
We live and learn.
Live and learn, yeah,
Anyways, now we're at now like talking about like the modern dating. That's a bit different now. Like there's social media, dating apps, and ghosting. Like, how do you think things have changed? How do you think it affects it? Like, what do you guys think with social media, dating apps, ghosting, all of it?
I feel like it's worse now.
It's so bad, yeah.
People of any gender.
It's harder actually.
They have
You
like
know-
so many other options now.
Yeah.
Hot take, I completely disagree. I think things are better now than they were before. I think back then, like before like technology and the internet and social media and dating apps and all of that, I think like you were basically set with the people around you. And some options, I wouldn't say they were terrible, but I would assume that in certain areas, your options were kind of bad. And like you may be around, like you may be the black sheep around a bunch of people that you don't really have a lot in common with or get along with besides just being in the same area. And I think now, like through social media and dating apps, like there are so many more options, which I think can be bad, but at the same time, I think it's good because you have a better chance of finding someone, not your perfect person, but like somebody that is more aligned with like your character, morals, values, all of that. And I think it can go to show that regardless of how far away someone is, if you really care about them and really love them, that's like actually real and genuine because you're going through it like when you're far apart rather than it just being stuck because they're in the same area as you. And I think if you really care for somebody, like regardless of like all the different options with social media and like dating apps, like you're still choosing to be with them. And like there's a temptation there, but you're still choosing to be with them. And I think that's more genuine and real compared to I'm stuck in this area and there's like 10 people in this small town compared to like millions and billions of people and you're picking one and you're choosing to ignore and not go for anyone else. So I think it's better. I'm a fan of it.
Okay, I definitely see what you're saying, but I would say the opposite. I would say I would go into the thing where you're saying like more options. I just think we have too much, like we have too much like information and we have too much things available to us. We're like, just I don't know the amount of people that we get and can interact with daily. I think it's way too much. And then I think just mixing in social media. I think in like the essence of what you're saying, yeah. But I think like when you mix in like these reels that you get like on your feed or like just like posts or like what's going on, like the news, like how everything's so easily accessible, I think it's just really not good. I think it's too much information, way too much information. And then when it comes to like the dating, like you just see like all the goods and bads of like relationships, like a girl cheating, a guy cheating, like a bad look on one person, things just like I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it's harder, and so I don't know, Kyle. What do you think?
What do you mean too much information?
Like
Yeah.
you're just seeing too much that's like going on. Like you're just like I don't know. Like back then, people didn't have social media, and like you met people organically, and like now you can find people in your same circles. But dude, on Instagram, like you have like followers and like
I feel like if anything, I disagree even more now. I'm even firmer in my stance because I think more information is better because If you're in like a small town with somebody, they could just put up, or like if you're just stuck in the area you're in, they could be putting up a front. But if you're seeing like all the information of everything that you're putting out, you're getting a better grasp of who they are.
But
So
they
you're
could
not
just
wasting
be,
your time.
But they could be putting something out that doesn't even like define who they are. They could
Yeah,
just be.
but then that's the point where you get to hang out with them and then you spend time with them and you see like, okay, this is a front. I don't want to be around you.
Okay.
So then you like, if anything, it's like when you're like doing the search and you're like adding the preferences and you make it smaller. It's like, okay, if I see a girl that's like posting this type of stuff and one or two acted like this, then I'm not gonna go for girls like that. And then you're like narrowing your search.
Well,
So
are
I
we
feel
talking about in like social media or like dating apps? Because I can't relate on dating apps.
I think both.
I can't say anything then on dating apps. I don't know.
I think
Are you on
both.
dating? Have you ever been on dating app?
Are we
Not
gonna we
recently.
gonna lie to the cameras?
No, not recently.
Why are you lying?
We gonna lie to
I'm
the
not
cameras?
right now.
Facebook dating
I'm not
account.
yet anymore.
Airing out his business on that is crazy though. But I think if anything, it's better, bro. Them posting everything they want to post, then you get to see. You're not gonna waste your time. I think it's better. I'm all for it.
Really? Let's agree to disagree because I don't think so.
You're kind of convincing me, low key. But
Bro.
also, I mean,
Like
know.
I can understand the point of it like being organic, but I think even if
What
it's
would
like
make you even reach out to a girl though? Because she could be putting on a front, and then you find out that's the same thing of like someone who's putting on a front, like in person that you meet, and then you find out they're just putting on a front, and then you stop, and then the same thing of social media, someone catfishing you or putting up a front, and then you meet them, and it's not like so. What's the difference?
I think the difference is like if you see somebody online, let's say like
But you're only gonna see them because you either see like maybe they, okay, like if they look good, that's the only reason why you're gonna be interested.
that's
That's
how-
like 80% of the reason.
That's how it is, even if you meet somebody in person.
but exactly.
Your first,
So how is it
no,
different?
it's like your looks are gonna get me to look, but it's your personality and vibe that will keep me to stay. The
Yeah, so
same
how
way
is
it
it
is in
different
person. So if it's over the phone, whether it's social media or dating apps, like I'm gonna see you, I think you're attractive. That's step one, and then like we're gonna see if you're gonna keep me to stay. The same way it's like both ways. If I'm gonna be able to get them to stay, so I'm gonna talk to them, get to know them. Obviously, I understand the idea of like catfishing. That's why you're gonna FaceTime people. Or if that's not an option, you meet them in person. And then it's like if it is a catfish, it's a funny story for your friends. Oh, I ran into somebody and they weren't who they were. And then if you do hang out with them, then you get to see if the things they said over the phone are actually real and genuine. And if they are, that's great and that's better. And that goes to show that it is organic because it's the same thing. It's just over the phone. And if anything, it could be even more organic and mean even more if it's like across the world or it's somebody you never would even imagine talking to. And obviously, and I think if anything, it's probably more genuine because the odds of it actually happening are significantly less than if you meet somebody in person in the same area as you. Like if we just stayed in our area and we only talked to the people around here, like it's bound to happen eventually because we're so close in proximity. And like as people, we want to be with somebody. We don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
But if I find somebody that's like across the globe, like in London where my brother lives and his wife, and we connect and we meet, and then like I go out there when I'm visiting my brother and everything is genuine and things check off and it's great, that's probably more meaningful. I would say a stronger connection because one, the distance didn't stop us, the time difference doesn't stop us, and it goes to show that like somebody you really care about doesn't have to be close and they could be across the world. So I think
But you can also travel and meet that same person when traveling.
yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. But I think social media. I
it's
mean,
made
like
it easier.
I think it's a lot easier to meet people through social media or dating apps.
Okay,
And I think it
that's
can.
fair.
I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
can agree
easier,
with
and
that.
I think it can be more genuine.
I don't think so, but I agree with making it easier. Yeah.
I
So
think it can be more genuine, but I also just feel like social media could be a hindrance.
It can be.
I think social media is just yeah. But I agree with what you're saying. It's easier to find, and yeah, I do agree with that.
Well, speaking about people, let's talk about green flags and red flags. What do you guys think are some green flags you're looking for in somebody you're really interested in? Some red flags, things you want to avoid, all of that.
Did we talk about this already?
I don't think so.
Nah.
I would say I already have one that comes straight to mind. I think manners is a huge thing.
I was gonna say that.
Manners is
that.
like number one, and that's like family, like just like how they treat like I don't know, like your server, like at a restaurant, like honestly, like
Yeah,
the waiter.
honestly, yeah.
It's like the little things. It's like I don't know, like let's say you guys have dinner together, just like cleaning, helping, like clean up, and maybe that's just I don't know, like cleaning up dishes or something, or like maybe just like certain manners where you're like, okay, like this person was raised well or has good manners and has learned good manners. Because I think that's just a huge thing for me. That's definitely, if you don't have good manners, and that's definitely just a turn off, like right from the bat. Like that's really hard. That's like one of my like non-negotiables. That's just me though, just off the top of my head. I don't know about you guys. What do you guys think?
I have a bunch. You go first though.
A green flag.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't cheat.
This dude. I mean, yeah, they're loyal,
Yeah.
but that's a great
How
green
many
flag.
people have cheated on you?
Yeah. Do we need to get into that?
Please. No.
This guy.
Wait, have you been cheated on before?
Have you?
I wouldn't say cheated, no,
No.
because it wasn't like.
Have you? You haven't been cheated on before, right?
No. Not that I know of.
Wow.
Yeah,
But-
not that I know.
Not that I know
yeah,
of, but no,
yeah.
I haven't been cheated on. They wouldn't.
I don't know. Honestly, just
I think about like
Something
your
nice.
ideal. What do you think about like an ideal? Like I feel like a green flag for you, like like if they watch anime, that's probably a green flag.
Yeah.
oh
Right?
yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
like
It's just
well,
like
yeah,
things
that
that
to be
you
a
like.
weeb, yeah, but I guess that is a green flag.
Yeah,
You
for
said
you that's a
weeb?
green flag. I guess.
No, is that how it's
I mean, it's
called?
yeah, it's
Are we
green
talking
flags
about
for you.
general green
No,
flags?
I'm saying like for like ourselves, like
Yeah, because
Oh.
like what are green flags for
different.
you? Yeah.
Like what do you like? Like what are the things that
Weebs.
dweebs?
Weebs.
What
This
are
guy.
weebs?
Like people that watch anime and really into it.
Oh, like that one girl in Cyberpunk. You're like, she'd be a wife. I wish she
Bro,
was
what
my
are you
wife.
saying?
Alright, bro.
Cyberpunk.
One, he said that.
I did not
Oh,
say
Two,
that.
that just sounds weird as
It
fuck.
does sound weird, bro.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like an anime type of girl, dude.
No,
No,
like
no,
somebody
someone
that
who
watches anime, bro. Not an
The
anime
anime type
character.
of
Let's
girl.
let's
I'm
go
thinking
with
about
this
like
dude.
I'm thinking about like ABG type girl.
Bro, you
right now.
think he's into 2D
think-
characters? What's wrong
No,
with you?
not actually anime girl. I'm talking about
my
like
God.
girls who like dress up as like anime.
All right,
little
yeah, that may be a little.
No, you would love that. You would love that.
Love what?
People that dress like cosplay into anime stuff.
If we're going to like,
Yes.
if we're going to like,
Yeah,
like an
that's-
event or something, yeah.
Okay,
But not like as part of your daily attire.
that would be a
no.
little much.
I swear.
He's like, I swear, not you. For me, I don't know why it's the first thing that's coming to mind, but I want to be with somebody that reads. I want to be with somebody that reads.
Nice.
And if anything, they add more peace and stress into my life. Somebody that's like emotionally intelligent. Like, I think communication is really important. I like to talk, and I like talking about feelings. But I think what's more important is like being able to understand like where I'm coming from, and I'm able to understand where you're coming from. So if we can't communicate well, or I can't understand you and you're not understanding me well, it's
Yeah.
probably not gonna work.
Yeah.
And then somebody that's just like really spontaneous and adventurous. Like I think
Nice.
all three of us are kind of down for anything and everything, and I think that's why we get along really well. Where if I text you and I said, "Hey, let's go out tonight," and it's already 11 or 12, you guys will probably say, "Yeah," unless you're with your girl. But but besides that, but besides that, like we'll be down to like go out and go do fun stuff. Or like go on some random adventure. Like
Yeah.
we went to Atlantic City and
Facts.
we didn't buy our hotel room. And what did we do after his game?
So bad.
We went to the casino, put our money down to see if we could get a hotel room. We
did not
didn't.
work
We
out.
did not win, and we had to put it on my credit card. But still,
Yeah.
we made it happen. And I want to be with somebody that's spontaneous and adventurous. Where I'm just like, bro, like, let's go to the airport. The next flight that's going out, let's go hop on it and go explore.
Facts.
And I think that would be so much fun to just like adventure through life with like your best friend that you're also into, and that's what I want. And then like besides green flags, like any red flags that either of you avoid.
I would say just red flag. Before red flag, one more green flag is just health and fitness. Like someone who's about their like health and fitness. Like I
Yes.
really do like that. And so that's not as big as like the manners thing, but like definitely helps. Like huge green flag for being about your fitness and health and wanting to work out. Because I've just had experience with that. And that's really nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's amazing. Especially being like an athlete my entire life and continuing just to be active. But red flag for me, well, I just want to just say the opposite. Like obviously, like we talked about manners, so like bad manners, obviously a big red flag. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Anything at the top of your head?
If they don't like animals,
Okay.
Okay. I can
Like-
definitely vibe with that.
not even if it's like, oh, I don't like dogs or whatever, but like if they just don't like animals at all, or like they think they're weird, or if they just don't, like I don't know. I've met girls who are like, Like there's one chick, she said she hates cats. I'm just saying that because I have 2 cats, so I'm kind of like biased on that. But she was like, they're so weird, the way that they purr. She was like, it sounds like disgusting in a way. And I was like, okay, what about dogs? She's like, no, they're too loud and annoying. I'm like, okay, what about like, I don't know, fish? She's like, what's the point of that? I'm like, bro, I don't know, I just don't like that stuff. But
Because you're an animal lover, right?
yeah, but I feel like if she does that, I feel like they have hatred for like people almost in a
yeah,
sense.
I see.
Or like
I
it can
see.
translate to that in some situations.
I agree with that.
If they outright don't like animals, or if they just don't care about them really, because
Probably
they could be like,
both.
I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I think both. Yeah,
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I like that. I think if they're dirty, like,
Sounds so
no, but like think
No,
about
that's
it. Like
true,
if
yeah.
you don't like, bro, like how you take care of yourself, like your personal hygiene, like if you don't brush your teeth,
Very
or like
true.
your hair is a mess, or like you're wearing
Yeah.
something that's got like a bunch of stains on it, or like if we're like eating together or something, and like the way like you like hold your fork or stuff like that, like it was like not really like clean the way you're
How do you
carrying
hold your
yourself to.
fork?
Like how you're supposed to, like when you're trained, not trained, but like when you're raised, bro.
You think she's gonna do
No,
this?
but like if like caveman
could.
style, bro. I'm not trying to be with that. I would say someone that's like really unmotivated and doesn't have goals. I think that would be really hard to deal with, because there's a lot that I want, like not even
Yeah.
like materialistic things, but like
Yeah.
certain lifestyle I want, things that I want to like achieve. And if I was with somebody that's not on that type of wavelength, that's gonna be really, really difficult to like wrap my head around and want to stay around. Um, and besides that, honestly, if they're boring, like
Yeah.
that's like so mean. But if you don't have any interest, like how are we gonna talk?
Or they're like a yes person.
Like a little bit of that, but like boring in the sense that like if I asked you like what'd you do today, and there's like, oh, I went to work and that was it. And it's not like even being dry, but like that's all they did.
Yeah.
Like I want you to have like hobbies and interests. Like I want to be around my girl. Like I want to spend time with them, and like I like the idea of us being around each other like often or 24/7. But like those spaces of time when we're separated, besides just work, like the interests I have are like lifting weights, going on runs, training for a marathon, about to flex, boxing, or spending time with you guys, or like spending time with my family, or like going on some random adventures, doing fun stuff. I want them to have their own fun things that they're doing too. And if all they're doing is like just sitting at home, watching TV, that's not really gonna cut it for me.
Yeah.
Cause then what are we gonna talk about?
Yeah.
Or and like it's like kind of a nice thing when you're bragging and like not even bragging, but like you're kind of like showing off your girl and you're just like, oh, my girl's doing this, this, and that. But if all you're saying is like, yeah, she's just sitting at home or scrolling on TikTok, I'm not gonna bring that up. And then if somebody says, oh, what is your girl up to? Change the subject. I don't really want that. So I like that they'd be interested in have their own hobbies and interests.
Yeah.
I get that.
I like that. Yeah, another green flag, just someone who's like has like a like chasing after like a dream, or like is motivated, something motivates them, something in particular. I really like that. Like a drive. No matter what it is. It could be something as small as like wanting to paint, or like be a painter, or something as big as like being the president. As long as they're like, yeah, I think that's awesome. I think a red flag could also be, or is their friends that hang out with. If they're like not good.
That's crazy, man. You're so right.
Yeah,
bro.
like if you hear, like if you just hearing like some stories like about like their friends, and you're just like, like you kind of are like the people you hang out with to an extent.
Facts.
So if their friends are definitely like big red flags, then that's a huge red flag. Just because these are the people you hang out with, these are the people you're spending your time with. And obviously there's exceptions to like one or two people who are like maybe like lifelong friends, or since like the sandbox. I get that, but like that I think that's a good indicator sometimes of like the type of person you're potentially going to be with. So
I like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one. I mean, do you have anything else to add, or you want to hop to the next question or next topic?
I was gonna say the opposite is a green flag.
Having good
if she's
friends.
able to recognize who's bad in her life and who's bad in her life and who's good in her life, and if they're able to recognize, yeah, X, Y, and Z always cheats on her boyfriend or something.
that's crazy. No, if there's a girl that I'm talking to,
Yeah.
and her friend's cheating, that's actually
they don't care about
that's a
it or
huge
whatever.
red. That is a absolute red flag.
Chances are she probably does the same thing.
If her friends cheated? See, okay.
Oh,
All right. Let's hear. Let me stop. Let me before we hop to the next thing.
Hot take.
Hot take. I agree that you are like the average and the sum of the people that you're around, but especially if you're hanging out with them often. But what I will say is that just because one person acts some way doesn't mean like you're gonna act the exact same way. Like all three of us are similar but very different. Where the same situation I'm going through, you may not do the same thing, and you may not do the same thing. So like for instance, like I'm not gonna name drop, but like one of my boys, he's cheated before, and another one has cheated before. But that doesn't mean that I'm a cheater because I've never cheated. So I don't think like if the girl I'm talking to or I'm dating somebody, if their friends cheated, I'm not gonna assume like they're a cheater, especially like how they react. If they're just like that's not okay. But if they're like what you said, if they're just like oh that's no big deal or they don't care or they try to like minimize it or belittle it, then I'm gonna be like all right that's a red flag. I don't want to stay around you. But I'm not gonna think oh because your friends cheated, you're a cheater, you're a bad person. I don't want to be around you.
Are these friends that you have like around though, like all the
I think
time?
that definitely plays a factor. I
Yeah.
think if they're like friends that aren't like geographically close, like in the same city, I think like if they're not close, then I'm not gonna like trip about it a little bit. But if they are really close and you're being like influenced them by a lot, then I would probably think a little think twice about it.
I would think
But
differently, yeah,
but I
for
don't think
sure.
I would like still cut them off just because one person acts that way. I'm not gonna assume that you do.
If it's a friend, one of your friends that you're hanging out with a lot in person, then that's a huge red flag. If it's someone that you're best friends with, really, really good friends with, but they're across the world or across, like they're not in the same state and you don't hang out with them a lot, I think that's different for me personally. Because it's not the same unless you're talking on FaceTime with them every day and like keeping up with them. But I don't, yeah, I think that's definitely different. And it's different than like that happening once and then hopefully they learn their lesson. And then the friend, like whoever you're talking to, saying like, yeah, like whatever, like thinking whatever about it. That's not a big deal, like he was saying.
Yeah.
You have anything else to add, or we got to the
yeah.
next thing? All right. The next thing was the difference between situationships and relationships, because nowadays things are very, very gray and things are very difficult to figure out. I think we all personally like things a little more black and white. It's yes or no, no maybes. But right now there is a lot of gray in things. So our thoughts on situationships and relationships. What do you guys think? I mean, we talked about it in a sec, or we just think like
It's labeled, like he
the
said.
label, the expectations, but I do think it's tough, especially when
Why
you're.
is it yeah, what
I
do you
think it's
mean?
tough when you're on one side and you want it to be more. But I think if anything, like when you're in the situationship and you want it to be more, and you want it to be a relationship, like I think it's tough. Whereas like you're getting like everything, but at the same time you're kind of getting nothing.
I thought you were saying it's tough, like
Not tough in a good way.
maybe
Or is
that's
it
my
TUFF or
No, like
TOU?
TOUGH.
Okay.
About to say,
It's-
can we spell?
like TUFF though.
no.
He's saying TUFF like it's tough. Or
I'm
it's like
not.
it's like
I'm
it's
not.
tough. Then
I'm
it's
not.
tough.
I'm thinking like it can be tough, especially when you're on the side of wanting it to be more, and even if you're on the other side where it's like you're getting what you want, but you're putting it at the expense of somebody's feelings. So I think like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I feel like that's why like I try to like make things black and white like as best as possible, and it's either a relationship or not, because situationships one person's always getting hurt.
Yeah, there's always one person benefiting.
Yeah.
And I've just from experience, yeah. So why is that the reason? Because someone's not being. Because I feel like okay, I'm not putting blame on anyone in particular. I definitely think it's one more person, obviously, that's benefiting, like I said. But I also think that like both the two parties are both like kind of like just in like acting like oblivious to like the fact of the matter, like instead of like I don't know. That's just the experience that I've had with it because I feel like the person who's like you said, there's one person who's benefiting off the other person's emotions. I think that is definitely true. Whether that realization of that is real or not, because like what's the reason? What's the problem with situationships? There's usually one person that wants to turn into something and the other person that doesn't. Rarely is it both people who are just
Cool with how it is. Yeah.
So then, how does that continue on? How does the situationship continue to go? Is it the person that is in the situationship giving false hope? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you like to be in the position where you're saying it's tough because when you said it's tough, I was like, damn, it's kind of
No, not tough in a good way. I think they're bad. I mean, like we're all like victims to it, but at the
It's
same time,
bad.
like we're all guilty of it that we've been in situations before. But I think like it's really bad if you're on one side of it, but also on the other, because like not to drop like a quote, but it's like from a movie. Like we accept the love we think we deserve, and I think if you're in a situationship where you're like the one that's accepting less and not getting what you want, you're basically like telling yourself and the other person that I don't deserve everything that I'm asking for or wanting.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with just getting a little bit. And I don't think that's fair. So I think like situationships are bad, and I'd rather things be black and white. Or if you're gonna be in a situationship, if like you're into that or you really care for the person, like I think it's best if you're just like so straight up and so honest. Because like you brought up like being oblivious. I feel like one person's oblivious and they don't realize it. I think the other person knows exactly what they're doing.
I can't lie. I've been just being straight up. I've been in a situationship before where I was oblivious until a certain point, and I wasn't straight up when I should have been, and I let it go for probably like a month more when it should have been over and ended. So I definitely do understand that, and I knew what I was doing too, unfortunately. So I'm not proud of that, but nonetheless, I'm gonna do my best to not do that again.
It's okay. We live and learn.
Yeah.
Character development.
Character
Honestly,
development.
Yeah.
Just training arc, winter arc. Do you have anything else?
That was my winter arc.
You have anything else to add?
My Halloween arc.
I would say avoid them if necessary. No, I mean,
Bro, I swear, everyone jokes around about it until they find themselves in a situation.
it's not.
It's fun in games until your
Yeah,
heart's
until
broken.
It's
bro.
fun sometimes, yeah, but
It's fun until it's not fun.
Facts.
someone's gotta get hurt. You gotta have the awkward conversation about it, and
All right.
Yeah. All right.
That was a great first episode.
That
but
was a great first episode. We're wrapping it up. I know it was quick. I know you guys want us to talk more and hear more. But
I can promise you, no one's asking.
no one's
Why are you
asking.
like-
I hope you're asking, please.
you guys are probably watching the video like, no, keep talking. All right,
Like,
sorry.
that's why that can end
All right.
this video.
Well, that's our first
Our
episode.
half viewer, our one viewer watching this.
Half viewer,
Half
an
a
infant watching us.
Well,
Thank you guys so much. That was the first episode, and we'll be back again shortly soon. So, thank you. I don't know how to close off. Maybe
all right, thank you. See
All
you
right.
next time.
See ya.
What the hell was even that?
All right.
I'm done.